Sometimes my opinions surprise people who know me. During the Chicago kidnapping that was all over the news recently, I didn't just surprise someone, I stunned them when I said out loud that I don't think the kidnappers should be charged with a hate crime. Don't you think it was a hate crime? Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I do think it's a hate crime. I think it was very obviously a hate crime. I've been getting really annoyed at people who claim it was not a hate crime. But I don't think they should be charged with a hate crime. I don't think they should do any extra time for it being a hate crime. And it's not that I think these four people in particular should not be charged with a hate crime. Screw them. I have no sympathy for these degenerates whatsoever. I don't think anyone should be put in jail for what they think. Not even these people. No one who commits a hate crime. I oppose the idea altogether. And my view on this is not unique. Other people have said similar things. The example I really wanted to give is from a TV show, The West Wing. A very liberal show had an anti-hate crime legislation sentiment in an episode. I really wanted to have a clip from the episode to show you. I couldn't get it in time, and I wasn't going to wait to make this video. I did write down the dialogue, though. And for any West Wing fans, it was CJ and Danny who were doing the talking. She asked him, "Don't you think that imposing additional penalties for hate-motivated crimes is a powerful statement by society against intolerance?" And his answer was, "No, a crime's a crime. One murder isn't any better or worse than another." But his next line is the one that I have often repeated to people over the years when I explain to them my objection to hate crime legislation. Punishing people for their beliefs is the beginning of the end. And that's the fact of it. I do not believe in penalizing people for any kind of thought crime. Any kind. Not even this one. And the idea that it is a powerful statement by society against intolerance. Statements come in the form of words, of expressing your own ideas, not in putting people in jail. It's not that I don't think that the hate crime is a legitimate concept. I do believe it is. Should we discuss whether or not this is a hate crime? Yes. I even want law enforcement agencies like the FBI and so on to keep statistics on hate crimes. I want that to be studied. I think that is very relevant, very useful information for society. I just don't want people spending time in a prison cell because of their racism. Well, not even if their racism inspired a crime. Not even then. Put them in jail for what they actually did, not for what they were thinking. I have always thought it was a very bizarre Wonderland-style logic in the first place. Someone stabs someone and there are witnesses, and he's going to go away for a long time. But if, in addition to that, he expresses distaste for the victim's ancestry, he'll do extra time. The strange thing is, if they had not said the words "fuck white people" out loud, then they would not be charged with a hate crime. Years could be added to their sentence for actually saying the words "fuck white people." And I don't think anyone should go to jail for saying "fuck white people" out loud, even if they're committing a crime at the time. I don't think those words should cause someone to go to jail for years. People who defend it will say, well, we're not trying to outlaw racism because you can't. It's not attempting to change the way people think or to outlaw certain thoughts, and that's true enough because you actually have to commit a crime based on this thought before they can charge you with thinking the wrong thing. But they are still charging you with having the wrong thoughts. Now, people who defend the hate crime legislation will explain that a hate crime is worse because it is not just a crime against an individual. It's a crime against society. That sounds like a real point, but it fails when I examine it. The reason is, any random crime is a crime against society. People who commit any mugging or any random killing or any rape and any crime of the sort are damaging society in a way similar to hate crimes, only on a much grander scale, because you're not afraid for yourself or your particular section of society. You're just afraid, period, because you're afraid to walk the streets. You have to lock your door. You have to really watch your children. These random crimes do damage society. So why focus on hate crimes in particular? The other rationale, the one that does seem to separate it from damage to society in general, is that when you commit a hate crime, you're not just committing a crime against an individual. There we go again. You're committing a crime against everyone that that individual represents, because you're trying to intimidate that section of society. I don't believe you can commit a crime against an entire section of society. Not white people, not black people, not Hispanic people, not gay people, and so on. You can commit a crime only against the people that you actually harm directly. I don't think that these 4 kidnappers committed a crime against all white people everywhere. And again, I'm going to repeat this because it bears repeating. They should go away for a very long time for the crimes they did commit, just not for hate crimes. I do not want anyone to be put in jail for what they think.